Hey guys, it is Mr. Bossman.
Guys, it is Mr. Bossman 914 here, and today we are going to be ranking Pikmin 2 caves. Now, I know that I have done ranking videos before, but not really for video games, and I just wanted to let you guys know that I have played Pikmin 2 before. I've never beaten it, but I grew up playing Pikmin 2. Like, a lot of people say they grew up with like the little Einsteins or Mario or Dora. Pikmin 2, I played that game all the time whenever I was younger. So this is like my personal opinion on everything. So yeah, um, just wanted to get that all out of the way so everybody's not in the comments all like, "Oh my gosh, boss man, you're wrong. Oh my gosh, your rankings are so bad." Um, Take it or leave it. I don't remember everything that happens in all of these caves, but I do remember all the bosses. So yeah. Without further ado, let's just hop right into it. So first off, on the list we have the Emergence Cave. Um, and a lot of people are actually going to be surprised where I put this one. I think this one is C tier. Now I know it's the first cave you go into, and it's the thing that gives you purple Pikmin. Like, come on, boss man, really? But I feel like it's a bit underwhelming. I feel like they could have had this really grand entrance, and there wasn't even a boss in it. Like, I know that you couldn't have that many Pikmin. Actually, you could. You could have quite a few Pikmin there, and it would have been a very good room for maybe even the Empress Bulblacks. Like, I feel like it would just been a great cave for uh maybe even a mini boss. There are so many enemies or mini bosses that could have been put in there for a place for a boss. Like, I know you only had 1 to 2 types of Pikmin, uh, which was red and purple, but those are both basically attack type Pikmin. So, like, I don't see what the problem would be there. So the only reason I'm ranking it low is because it just always felt a bit underwhelming to me. Um, Coming in at the second cave, we have the Subterranean Complex. Now, the Subterranean Complex, this one I have a bit of trouble with. So I know that the boss for this one is a man at legs, but I also know that I always had a lot of trouble with this cave. Like, I just always feel like whenever I get done playing this cave, it always feels like I forgot something about it. So that's the whole reason that I don't really like that cave. But like, it's just a really good cave. Like, I mean, it has a man at legs. It always made me so frustrated whenever I was younger. That's probably the main reason that I kept on thinking that I didn't get something in the cave, and so I had to keep on going back in there. And the man at legs was just so hard to defeat because of the water around it. I mean, I don't know. Just like the whole thing was like really, it was a really good boss. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong one because I know there's man at legs in a different cave too, but it's not the actual boss. It's like a mini enemy. Even though it's not that small, it's still a normal sized man at legs. But we're not focusing on that right now. It's a really good cave, uh, and it didn't really leave a big impact like some of the other caves did. I mean, it was still there. So, I'm gonna have to give this one a B. Boss, really good. Cave, really good. Really frustrating. Actually, maybe I'll give it an A. It just really wasn't that memorable to me, but it was still a really good cave. Next up, we have the Hole of Beasts. This one, or no, we don't. We have the Frontier Cavern. Oh, sorry. Um, so this one, is when you fight Empress Bulblax the second time. And I know what you may be thinking. Awesome, come on, what are you doing? We haven't even gotten to the cave to where you fight Empress Bulblax the first time. Slow down. But I'm just doing this in like order of place to place. So except for one cave. And that cave everybody should know. That's at least played Pikmin 2. Um so this one isn't actually one of my favorite ones. I might give this one a D tier. I feel like they could have done a whole lot more than this. I feel like Empress Bulblax shouldn't have been enemy in this one. The boss. Like I feel like it's kind of underwhelming. Like the boss fight is really good, but it's actually really easy to do. Like you should be having a harder challenge because you can't reach this until later on in the game. So I feel like it should be something harder than Empress Bulblax, but a second time. And I know that like the rest of the cave was like hard to deal with to get up to it, but like the boss fight just it really took the whole thing down. I'm gonna give this one a D. So the next one we have up is the Hall of Beasts, and this one is whenever you fight Empress Bulblax the first time. Now this one is a really good cave. Um, I don't really remember this one, so it's probably gonna go down rank. Obviously, not getting S. But this one I remember the first time just dropping down into that last level and seeing the big imprint left from Empress Bulblax. Like that actually like really scared me. I was like, well, what is going on? And then you just walk into the next room over and she's just laying right there. And I feel like that was a good way to deal with it. Just like with the last one, I feel like it wasn't a good thing to bring her back. So this one, it's not really memorable overall. So I'm probably gonna give it a B. But it was it was a good cave, better than the emergence cave because I mean at least it had a boss. Um, it wasn't really underwhelming. It's just kind of mediocre. So next on the list is a white flower garden. And I know you guys might be like, Boss Man, really? You're literally just putting these to fill up the spaces. And I'm actually not. I'm ranking these on what I think. It just so happens that they're in this order. Um, so, as you may know, I'm already going to say that I'm putting this one in S tier. This is a great cave. This thing, it's the whole setup about it is just so good. So you go into this cave and uh like you're not really expecting anything. You go in there, you find the white flower buds. You throw your Pikmin in there, and then you get the white Pikmin. Now let me tell you, white Pikmin are my favorite. Purple Pikmin, move out of the way. Like you're good and all, but white Pikmin, like this isn't racist or anything. Like I'm just literally listing off why I like the white Pikmin. It's because of their abilities. The white Pikmin, not only are they poisonous, but they also they can also see stuff underground. They help you dig up treasure that you can't even see. Like that's pretty cool. Come on. And then the boss of this cave, the burrowing snack rat. Come on. That is one of the coolest bosses. Like let's be honest. The first time I walked into that cave, I didn't know what was going on. I walked in there and I freaked out. I paused my game. That I did that a few times. But like I'm just saying that that was a really good cave. I it deserves S tier. Um I'm just gonna leave it off like that. Next one up is a Bulblax Kingdom, and this one I don't really remember this one either, because I don't really tend to remember the smaller caves that don't really get you anything except for armor upgrades. And this one was the Emperor Bulblax, and I feel kind of in between B and C on this one. A lot of people may think that it's a good cave. I don't know what people think. Um, but like I just think that this cave, like the since the boss of the cave was the Emperor Bulblax, I feel like they could have not done the Emperor Bulblax just because like they did the Empress Bulblax and that was fine. But like the Emperor Bulblax was like the whole main thing of the last game, Pikmin, the original one. Like the whole thing, the final boss that you had to beat was the Emperor Bulblax. So, like, I feel like it was just really underwhelming to have. Okay, so next up on our little list here is actually the Bulblax Kingdom. Oh, okay. Now, um, what my thoughts on the Bulblax Kingdom are is, first of all, they're going in C tier. And it's just that the Bulblax kingdom, they're the main boss, or not the main boss, the boss of the whole cave is the Emperor Bulblax. And as you may know if you played the first Pikmin game, the Emperor Bulblax is the final boss of the first Pikmin game. And it's just kind of underwhelming for it to be the final boss of a cave in Pikmin 2. And it's not even like the final cave. And even later on, it just gets turned into a common enemy. Like it feels wrong. It feels like kind of disrespectful to the first game in my opinion. But again, just my opinion. So that's why it's going in C tier. It just felt like really underwhelming, but it's just not as bad as the Frontier Cavern to me. So, next up we have the Snaggart Hole. This one is going to be in, you guessed it, B tier. Now you may be like, boss man, I thought you were gonna put an S, like with the White Flower Garden, where the Snaggart where the burrowing Snaggart was the boss. And well, I mean, you're not wrong. The burrowing Snaggart was the boss for um the White Flower Garden, but now it's a kind of common enemy in the Snaggart Hole. And like it's just like I personally really like the burrowing Snaggart. It's really good, but the Snaggart Hole just didn't really do it for me. Like the especially with the boss of the Snaggart Hole, like the oh I forget what it's called sometimes. The pileated Snaggart, yeah, that's what it's called. Um, like it's just so dumb. Like that boss is so easy to beat, and like it just gives you a whole bunch of stuff. Like I feel like it could have been a whole lot of better of a cave, but they just I feel like this one was kind of rushed. Like it could have been a really good cave, and it would have been an S tier right now. But like I just feel like it wasn't. Like I feel like maybe shouldn't have been in the game at all. Blah, 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 blah. No, it doesn't matter though. So next up we have the Citadel of Spiders. I'm gonna keep this one short and simple. This one is way too overrated. This thing is B tier at best. Um, it's actually a pretty bad cave. Like I mean, the boss is so easy to beat. Literally the yellow Pikmin strategy. That's it. I mean, it gives you the key, but like, who really cares? It's just another game mode. Not really all that. Next we have Glutton's Kitchen. I'm gonna keep this one short and simple too. Uh, D tier. This whole thing was trash. Glutton's Kitchen was probably the worst thing ever made in this game. Um, I mean, I would put an F tier, but I don't have an F tier, and I'm not trying to create an F tier right now. But like it just sucks. Bread bug boss, no, it's stupid. So next up we have Shower Room. This one is the boss is a raging Boister. This one I'm gonna put in A tier. Actually, no, I'm gonna put this one in B tier, just because I feel like it was a really good level, but I feel like it could have been better. Like the final, not the final boss, the boss can really mess with you if you don't know how to actually fight it, because it targets your captain. So if you don't know how to beat it, it can be a lot of pain. This I know that first time that I went in that cave, it scared me a lot. and I couldn't figure out how to beat the boss. It just kept on killing my Pikmin, so I just ended up leaving the cave without the treasure. And it's it's a pretty good cave, but it's I mean, like to me, I just really feel like it wasn't as good as the subterranean complex. Um, next up we have sorry. Next up we have the Cavern of Chaos. This one, A tier. The boss in this one is so cool. Segmented Cropster. I remember like this all the sub levels get affected by him, and like especially him. I remember like distinctly like whenever I killed him the first time, like he just dropped the baby head and I was just like, what is that? It was so creepy. And like it just feels weird to like not put this in A tier. It would feel weird to not put this in A tier because it is such a good dungeon, but like if I'm being honest, it's not as good as the White Flower Garden. Not dungeon, cave, boss man, you're stupid. um, next up we have the Hole of Heroes. With the boss being the raging, uh, the raging Longlegs. This thing is C tier. I'm just gonna everything below B is getting probably a shorter explanation just because I don't really feel the need to explain it. Like it's literally just bad. Like it's not as bad as the ones in D tier, but it's also not as good as the ones in B tier. Like the boss is so easy to beat. Like it gives you somewhat of a challenge, but like the whole thing is just kind of like an easy pass through. Like if you know how to deal with it, it's an easy path through. But like if you don't know how to deal with it, it might not be an easy pass. But like you're probably gonna get the hang of it pretty fast. Like I feel like it's kind of underwhelming for being like one of the final three caves that you go to, and it's just like that. Like I feel like it could have been a lot better. Uh, then of course we have the Dream Den with the Titan Weevil. This is S tier easily. I've never actually played on this in this cave before, cause and just never got to it. I don't know why, but like from everything that I've heard of it from all the Let's Players that I've seen play it, like Dad's Let's Play, Checka Conroy, uh, just to name off two. I'm pretty sure I've seen like more people play it than that because I really like Pikmin too. It's just a really good cave, and to be perfectly honest, it's actually above the White Flower Garden just because like the final boss is so good, like the design of it and all the elements that it uses, literally and like literally and I keep on forgetting the other one because my vocabulary is uh not wide enough. Um and metaphorically. Like literally as in it has like all the elements. Like it has poison, it has electric, it has fire, it has water. But like metaphorically also as in like it has all the elements of a good boss fight. Like the whole thing was just really good. Like all of like it didn't let down expectations at all. I mean, like let's be honest, it was just a really good thing. I mean, in my opinion, I've never played the level before, and you can see that I had completed the tier list. I don't know why, but my voice keeps on cutting off later on, so I have to keep on going through this this last one right here, which is of course the submerged castle. Now, some of you may know this is a notorious cave for basically scaring a lot of people. Um, this cave, I remember being like 9 or 10 just sitting down in my room in front of my TV playing Pikmin 2, and I jump into the submerged castle. I get done with the first level. I go into the second level, and I'm like 5 minutes in, and all I hear is I'm in the middle of making my Pikmin carry something back to my ship. Music starts playing, and I am scared. I am telling you, I pause my game immediately, cause that thing, it was probably like 8 o'clock, and it was dark outside, and I was scared. Like I'm telling you, I was having nightmares from that. That thing caused me to stop playing the game for probably about 2 or 3 years because it was so scary. And it was just such a good cave. I mean, last time I played through it, which was last summer, like it was so good. I really enjoyed playing this cave. Like I know that beating the boss, because like you beat the boss every time. Like it was like the ending, it's kind of underwhelming, but like the rest of the cave just makes up for it. It's so good. And I know some people may be like, "Well, boss man, if it was so bad to you, or if it was so mean to you, why don't you put it in D tier?" Because that's the thing. If it scares you, it's doing its job. I feel like even though it's a Nintendo game and it's kind of made for kids, like I feel like it still kind of appeals to like the older audience because like it can still be scary. Like that's the whole thing. But yeah, enough of this whole thing. Um, but yeah, make sure that you guys are staying hydrated out there and are staying safe for the coronavirus. You guys don't want to be catching it. Like it's actually a serious thing, as far as I know. I don't know. Maybe the government's pranking us, and as other people are saying, they're using it to put batteries back in the birds. Um, but yeah. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, maybe even leave a comment if you enjoyed. And yeah, this is all for now. And this is Mr. Bossman 914 signing out. Bye.